Welcome back, everyone. I don't know about you, but this is going back a number of years, of course, when McDonald's opened, and then they first served up Ronald McDonald. You think of Ronald McDonald as the clown figure for McDonald's, of course. Well, that's changed quite a bit when you add a couple of words to that, like Ronald McDonald House Charities. And right here in our own region, we have the Ronald McDonald House Charity of the Capital Region. And joining me today is the CEO. This is David Jacobsen. Hello, David. How are you?
Hello, nice to be with you today. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, it's very nice to have you on also. And I'll explain this background to our viewers in just a second. But I noticed you pulled one on me here with that background, but I know what it is. So we'll talk about it. David, I want to just familiarize our viewers a little bit more with some of the more specific things about the Capital Region chapter of Ronald McDonald House Charities. I think, according to my notes, it was 1982, I think, when it opened. Give us a sense of what you've done since, not since 1982, you know what I mean. Just give us a sense of what you've done.
Well, the Ronald McDonald House in Albany opened in 1982. We are celebrating our 39th year right now, and over that time, we've been able to provide service to more than almost 20,000 families, covering more than 30 counties in New York State. We have about 6 or 7 other states that families have sometimes come from. They come to Albany for the specialization of services available at the Bernard and Millie Duker Children's Hospital at Albany Med. And our goal, like for many of the Ronald McDonald houses, there are 375 Ronald McDonald houses in 61 different countries, and each one of them is located close to a children's hospital. Our goal is when a child is undergoing treatment, we recognize that the entire family goes through that process. It's not something that's just the child. And many of the families that come to Albany are coming from 2, 3, sometimes 5, 6, 7 hours away to receive the treatment. And we want to make sure that families can stay close by. So we're located just a couple hundred yards away from the Children's Hospital. It's a nice 3-minute walk on a day like today. And we've got a shuttle service that provides, when the weather is not as nice, Albany Med provides a shuttle service for our families to take them right there. And that's really important. It keeps families close together. The house in Albany has 25 guest family bedrooms so that we can have 25 families here at a time. And that's important too, because a lot of times families are going through, they think they're the only ones going through it. And then they come here and they meet others that are in similar situations. And it really builds a lot of support, a lot of encouragement. Our volunteers are incredible. We rely on more than 200 volunteers monthly that help provide support for families, cook meals for them, and are there to be able to help, and a very small and dedicated staff that puts all that together. And it's this last year has been incredibly challenging for us, but we feel very fortunate that we've been able to make sure that we can respond to the needs of every single family that's been referred to us throughout the pandemic.
Well, you know what? I want to cycle back just on something you said, because I heard this before about the Ronald McDonald House in Albany. You know, you tend to think that you're going through it alone. And yeah. I want to cycle back on that. When you meet other families that are facing the challenges, the hardships or whatever, you form a bond, you form a community there, and it makes you both stronger. And I know that's what you're alluding to there. And that's one of the benefits that you can't just write down on a piece of paper, if you know what I mean. Hey, I want to ask you one question though, because you talk about the pandemic. The pandemic turned everything upside down. You were, as I remember, you really accomplished something during the pandemic. Do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, on March 13th, which Friday the 13th last year, we got the news, much like everyone else did, that we needed to suspend our intake to all of our programs, that we had to no longer have volunteers come into the house. So our staff and board leadership got together Saturday morning, 8 o'clock on the 14th, and decided immediately we were going to keep our mission going. The reality is children still get sick. Babies are still born prematurely. There are still accidents and trauma situations that lead to children being at the hospital. And that means that we need to find a way to help families. Over the course of the next 4 months, we put families in local hotels while we couldn't get them into the house, until we could get the house reopened safely to do that. That we were able to take care of 99 families that were referred to us that we put up in hotels, 1,410 nights at hotels. And really it was a great expense for the organization. And of course, we rely entirely on philanthropic support. So it's the generosity of the community that keeps us going. We never charge our families. We don't have any government contracts. Everything is from the generosity of our community. And that decision cost us close to $500,000. However, it was that's our mission. That's what we do. And this community is so incredible. By the end of the year, we had made up that difference. And so, that is what we strive to do, is just keep our eyes on what families need. When families come in, they've got so many pressures and so many stresses just related to their child's treatment. And then you look at finances, you look at their job situation. Most of our families have other children. They have dogs and cats and other things that are going on. If we can help keep the family close by their child undergoing care and help relieve that stress, and nothing does it like home cooked meals and keeping them close. And so,
Sure, absolutely. It's
that's been our focus.
you've given me quite a nice segue to explain what that house is behind you there. Of course, people who live in Lake George recognize the street and recognize the house. It was a former office of Attorney Krantz, a name well
Yes.
known in our region. And to the point that you're making, that you rely on donors, you rely on people, you rely on volunteers and whatever. We got a major event coming up right here in Lake George at the Earl of West Inn. Everybody knows the Earl of West. Why don't you give us a heads up on what's going on at the Earl of West?
Well, this is something that the folks at the Earl of West were hoping to do for us last year. And the pandemic shut these plans down for a little bit, and we're excited that it's opened up again this year. Because of the safety precautions and everything else, we are limited to 150 guests. And so the folks at the Earl of West said, well, let's just do it over 2 nights. So we're going to do it on Tuesday, May 25th, and Wednesday, May 26th, from 5:30 to 8:30 at night. And this event is going to be amazing. We have an Elvis impersonator that's going to be providing music. It's a casino night, so there's gaming, there's activities inside and outside, so that there's plenty of social distancing and lots to do. Even if people are uncomfortable with going inside, that's fine. There's plenty to do outside. Wonderful food. And we've got more than 100 items available on a silent auction that's going to be part of this as well. And there are some really good prizes. There's some prizes I have my eyes on.
Yeah.
Being able to go after that. And all of this is to support something for Ronald McDonald House Charities. We're able to do something that has never been done before. And that's what that building is behind me. We have been renovating that building. It no longer looks the way it does in this picture because we actually have construction going on it currently. We will be opening this summer the Ronald McDonald Family Retreat at Krantz Cottage. And this is a way for specifically for families who have undergone significant levels of treatment in the hospital. We're going to give priority to families whose children may have a terminal diagnosis. For some of these families, this might be the vacation of a lifetime. And so we're hoping to give families a time from a 5-day trip from Saturday to Wednesday up in Lake George at no expense to them. We want to thank Mayor Blaze and a number of businesses from the Chamber of Commerce that have donated gift certificates for restaurants and activities all throughout Lake George. And what the Inn at Earl of West is doing for us is to raise awareness of this new program that's right here in the village of Lake George, as well as hopefully raise some awareness of what Ronald McDonald House Charities has done. Jesse, there's something I haven't shared with you yet that I would like to share with you. And that is over the past 39 years at the Ronald McDonald House in Albany, the location that has sent us the second most number of families is Warren County. And we've had a lot of families that have stayed here in Albany over the years. And so that's one of the reasons we're excited about doing this in Warren County and doing it right at Lake George. This is going to be an amazing thing. We're hoping to open somewhere around mid-July this year. We've got to finish up the building and get the building ready to open. But that we're on track to be able to do that and open in July.
So our job is the dates again, I want to give you the dates, and you'll see a web address on the bottom of the screen. Actually, a couple of web addresses on the screen so you can find out more about it. But it is a benefit for Krantz Cottage, for Ronald McDonald House Charities. It's Tuesday the 25th, Wednesday the 26th, and as David said, it's going to be quite an affair. All kinds of gaming, and the gambling is a theme. And you can come there, and there'll be a silent auction. And I was just wondering, rumor has it that Frank Dietrich is going to dress up as Elvis, but I wasn't. I don't know. Did you hear that?
I think that there are some things that just people need to be there to see that.
Yeah, right.
And to see what happens. Also on Tuesday night, there's going to be a fantastic fireworks show over Lake George. As a way of culminating the night. So we're excited about that too. And on Wednesday during the day, I'm going to be up at the cottage. And if individuals want to come by and want to see the cottage firsthand, it is in construction. I'll warn people of that, but I'm going to be there to be able to help people see what's going on there. Lynn Underhill is our decorator, and she has done an amazing job of making this something that is a real getaway for families.
Think about what this is. This is an opportunity for families who are facing the kind of challenges that sometimes we think about, but very few of us have to go through personally. An opportunity for family to get away for 5 days, to come up to our beautiful Lake George area and be a family. Just think about what I just said. David, thank you so much for taking the time to tell us about this. Again, very clever background there. You really got me with that one. And
I look forward to seeing you there on the 25th.
Yeah, you will. And again, I just got this thing about Frank and Elvis. I can't shake it. I don't know what to do. All right, David, you take care, and I'll see you next on the 25th.
Thank you, Jesse.
Okay, take care.